My name is Sokratis Papaspyrou. I'm Greek, but I live now and I work here in Cadiz, Spain. My research is focused on microbial ecology and biogeochemistry. This, in simple words, means we're looking at what the microorganisms, bacteria or other type of microalgae are doing in relation to the cycling of nutrients, of carbon, of elements like carbon and nitrogen in coastal areas. So where we do our studies is basically in different coastal areas, like here in the Bay of Cadiz, and specifically in intertidal zones. These are the zones where the tide moves during the day. Even though I cannot name any specific person, I would say that my inspiration comes from all the other researchers that have spent their lives trying to make in the lab, working, coming up with new inventions and new ideas, trying to make our life safer and more easy. I think the best smiles I get is when I see other people smiling to me because I have helped them during the day. Having a nice lunch with my family or friends, or spending some hours at the beach here in Cadiz really makes me relaxed and happy. I think the most important thing is to have a just and tolerant world where we can talk and think without having any fear, and where people are actually thinking about other people first before themselves. Even though my research doesn't seem very relevant to many people, what we do is very important for the management of coastal ecosystems, because we know how the elements are being recycled. This has an effect on the primary production, which is what the fish eat, which we eat. So it's very important to know how the systems function, and especially nowadays with the threat of all the anthropogenic impacts we have to the environment. To show you the diversity of microorganisms that live in the sediment, we're going to do what's called a Vinogradsky column. So basically we're going to cultivate the different types of bacteria that live in sediment or in the beach sand, where actually you don't see anything. So to do this experiment we need some sand, we need some mud, which you can collect from a small mud flat or a lake you have, or a small pond near the house. We need some chalk, the one we use for writing on the blackboard, some sugar, some water, and some egg yolk. Is to mix the mud with some sand. Now we add 2 teaspoons of chalk, a bit of egg yolk. This is dried up, this is special egg yolk for the lab. And a bit of sugar. Don't add too much, just a bit. And we continue mixing. Now we add a bit of water to make it like a milkshake. You're going to need also a tall bottle or a jar, preferably from glass. So you take the glass, you put your funnel, and you add up to 1/3 of the bottle with this slurry. clean the recipient where you have mixed the sand and the mud, and then we're going to make more mix, but without adding anything. Sand. Water. Put it over the first part. Pour it over the first part. So once you fill the bottle up to 2/3, okay, and we're done. I'm going to take a bit of water to clean the sides. And leave a couple of fingers of water. I'll take some paper also. To clean a bit the top. Okay, on the outside. So now we have to cap the bottle so the water doesn't evaporate. We can use a cap, but it has to be very loosely put on top. You don't want to close the bottle. You can also put some cling film on top of the bottle. And now we have to place this bottle next to a window sill, but not with direct sunlight. If you leave it there, you'll see that every week you'll have different types of colors coming up. This is because different types of microorganisms are growing. So after a few weeks you'll have something like this. So you can see different types of colors corresponding to different groups of organisms. So these organisms grow in the column depending on what they produce and depending on what they want to consume, what types of compounds they consume or produce. So we started with something that looked like pure sand, as if we don't see anything there. And after a few weeks, by putting this in the light, we see a whole variety of microorganisms, showing the biodiversity that we have. If you want, you can take pictures. If you have comments about the procedure or about what you see in your columns, feel free to ask. La investigación cambia el mundo.